I was coming out of a meeting and I saw a guy up on a ladder painting a window. And all of a sudden I heard a baby cry. And I turned around and I watched this guy get off of a ladder and go up to a minivan that had both doors open. And there was an infant in the back seat that he picked up and calmed down and then put back in the car seat. And this infant was probably about 3 weeks old. And he said that his wife had to go back to work the day after giving birth. And as someone who benefited from an employer, they gave me 12 weeks of paid leave, and I knew how important that time was to bond with my child and just to figure out how to be a mom. My heart broke, and it continues to break day after day as we are denying care for children and families in this state, and it's not okay. And it is not who we are as Minnesotans.
I want to thank the moms and dads and brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews that every single day in Minnesota figure out how to take care of their loved ones, because that is just what we do. That is what we do. The thing is, we make it so hard sometimes, and it does not need to be that hard. We see examples of how this can be done all across the country and all across the world, and Minnesota is good enough to figure out how to make sure that moms and dads and sisters and brothers don't have to choose between their paycheck and taking care of their loved ones.
Paid parental leave is really an important issue. We all should be supportive of folks who both have young children like I do, or if you're taking care of an ailing parent or another family member, you really need that time, and it's valuable. You can't get it back.
My husband and I have been married 2 years, going on 3. We would love to have a family, but it's not financially feasible at the moment. We have absolutely no paid leave, and without that, I'm the breadwinner for the family. We can't have kids. If I have to worry about how I'm going to recover my wages while I'm on leave, there's no way we can do it. So we really need paid leave in order to start a family, which we've been wanting for years.
This is about more than just mothers with babies. 10,000 people every day turn 65, and it's going to be that way for the next 20 years. There is going to be tremendous stress on families to care for this baby boom generation of aging parents. And they're going to have the kind of workplaces that allow them to be able to do that. So in this increasingly tight labor market, it's the businesses that care for the needs of their workers' families that are going to be successful and have the best talent going forward. And that's especially true in rural Minnesota, because we don't want, and we're getting kind of tired of educating our kids, and our biggest export being sending them to the big employers that are able to offer these kind of benefits. So in rural Minnesota, our employers are going to need this kind of a program, because they probably aren't big enough to do it on their own. They're going to need us all to pool as employees and employers in this state, so that even the small employers and the businesses that aren't really profitable are going to be able to attract the kind of workforce that they need to be successful.
I grew up on a farm, and we have a lot of small businesses in Fairmont, and I can't imagine that places like that wouldn't need this type of legislation also, because they want to provide good things for their employees. There are places like Gandhi Mahal. They were very outspoken in the Senate about how important this is for their restaurant to be able to provide something like that for their employees. So I think there are a lot of small businesses out there that support it. I mean, the thing that I like about the paid family leave bill is that it provides a space for an employer to hire someone temporarily, or to pay for other employees to work overtime or other extra things to fill that position while someone's on leave. And yet it still covers health insurance for that person that needs the time to care for their family, and that's really important.
85% of folks in this state believe in paid family leave. Republicans, Democrats, Independents.
All we need is for the leadership of the Minnesota House to recognize what all of us do, which is this is a moral responsibility. This is really a measure of the moral integrity of the state of Minnesota.
All working people, regardless of whether they belong to a union, should have access to paid family leave. Now is the time for the House majority to stand with working families and support this legislation. Now is the time to act. Thank you.